What's up, guys? We're currently sitting in Ricardo, Texas at the feed store. That's where we get most of our feed for the animals. We're gonna get a bag of corn, sweet feed, and I think a couple of square bales of hay. Dad's inside taking care of that right now. We went to town to go get some stuff for the electric box outside to get everything set up so we can have some kind of power on the property, but fortunately they didn't have anything as far as the box that we needed. So stopped by Lowe's, stopped by McCoy, stopped by Walmart. Nobody had anything, so we just got all the connections, we got all the wiring, we got a ground rod. We just need to order the box online, and once we get that, we can hook that stuff up. I can call the electric company and they come out and turn everything on, and we'll at least have power up to the power pole outside, so we can plug in an extension cord for power tools and whatever else we need. Still leaning on building the house from the ground up. Dad and I were talking yesterday, and we are leaning towards just getting somebody to come out and pour concrete for us. A slab, roughly, I'm thinking a building maybe 20 by 24 or a 20 by 30, and then have them pour, sorry, feel like I need a burp. I was drinking one of these little monsters. But yeah, we were wanting them to additionally pour another 8 by 10 slab for the front porch, and possibly like a, I don't know, 12 by 12 slab on the back for a back porch. So we'll see how that goes. Still in the planning stages. We actually picked up some notebooks and some pencils and some rulers. We're going to start drawing up some layouts for this house to try to figure out exactly where we want everything. I was just telling Dad, if we are going to build from the ground up, which it seems like we are, we don't want to overdo it, and we want to make sure that we have everything down to a T before we start doing any kind of physical work. Still waiting on the shed company to come back out, grab the anchors out of the ground, get those out, and then I can start preparing the pad site as far as the size building we want. Here comes Dad. We'll see if he wants to join in on this conversation. We're not live, but we're in the middle of a video. I was saying that we're over here in Ricardo getting some feed for the animals, and then talking about how we're leaning towards possibly getting a company to come out and pour a cement slab for us. Once we get to that point. So I said we're planning everything. We don't know the exact size, but maybe a 20 by 24, 20 by 30, something like that. And then yeah, I got to figure out where we would put all the plumbing at, all that kind of good stuff. So it's not cheap. I dropped probably about, I don't know, close to $200 for all the electric stuff right now. Just waiting for them to load all this stuff up. I got
more money. Have to feed the goats too.
I got so much crap in the back of this truck. We'll just wait for them. They're pretty much done now. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
That hay in the back's kind of sticking up a lot, don't you think?
No.
On your side, that damn thing's standing straight up.
No, it's okay.
If it falls out, guys, it's not my fault. I warned Dad.
It's not.
But yeah, I was telling him that we went to Lowe's and McCoy's and Walmart, and they just didn't have the box for us. But we got the wiring for it and the connections and stuff. And
yeah, we're looking for a outdoor breaker box that has pass-through lugs, so that it'd be you know, the feed that goes to his house, and also has some lug spaces out at the pole itself on the cutoff, so that he can easily hook into a garage or something from that pole just straight in.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't lose a connection. The last 2 times I tried filming in the truck, the phone overheated. So we'll see what happens. We're almost 5 minutes in. We're still good, but the night's still young. But yeah, we were talking about, just before we got on here, the amount it's going to cost for the wires to run from the pole outside up to where the house is going to be. It's going to be pricey for that too. So
yeah, because it's a little over 50 feet, and when you run wire over distance, you lose some amperage. So we're going to go with some bigger wire, probably either a 3/0 or a 4/0 wire to his house, which is rather expensive, but
what's not expensive these days?
at least you'll have full power instead of reduced power.
Yeah, so we'll just have to get online and order the box. I don't know if we're going to get on Amazon or maybe from Lowe's or something, but
I saw a few of them online. Actually, Lowe's had them, or you can order them from Lowe's, I believe, but they just didn't have any with the pass-through lugs, the feed-through, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So what did you think overall of the whole shed situation and the outcome?
Well, I'm relieved that you got rid of it. He got his money back and everything, so he's the only thing that we lost
All of our time
was our time, you know, and we could eat that, you know, like we told the person, you know, we're not going to try to rip you off or anything with this. And
well, that's what I had said. They initially wanted to just pay, which it was on them. The corporate guy was the one that said he wanted to pay me back for all my payments that I made on the building.
And that was it.
And that's all they were going to do initially. And I just said,
like, no,
I don't think that's going to cut it. I said, if y'all can cut, or if y'all can cover the cost of the material in there, we'll eat our time and we can just wash our hands of each other. And basically they said that they did not want to give us a new building. That was
he said that they could have got us, or got Jared a new building, but
they were afraid we'd bitch about it.
They were,
exactly
they were afraid that Jared would nitpick it too much and say, look, you know, we don't want this either. So they said we would rather not do that.
And I'd rather not have to deal with that again.
And so we said, great, just give him his money back. And
like I said, overall they made it right for the most part, minus the losing time. But like I said, we agreed on that. And
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just
the building was built like shit.
It was.
It just was. That's
not
the end of the day.
It was just not constructed right.
And I think it opened up their eyes too, up in corporate, as far as how their dealers all over the U.S. are building these things. Like not the dealers building, the manufacturers building them all. And each place, they build them different. They use different materials. Sometimes they
short materials,
seal
like
stuff. Sometimes they don't. Yeah. And I think it was an eye-opening experience for the Harlingen plant. That seemed to be a reoccurring thing with anybody I talked to at the shed company. Every one of them said that place down there doesn't build it up to quality like the rest of them for the most part. So, and that's just so happened that's where my building was from. But overall, at this point, I'm fine with what I got out of it, and like I said, it'll help start a new thing. And I don't know, I think building from the ground up, one, like I said, I won't have to be making those monster payments that were outrageous, but at some point that's the only option some people have, is to have to pay a high amount on the monthly bills to be able to get a building out there. So
I mean, at the rate that you were paying it off, it would have been paid off in 2 years or less.
I mean, I would have paid it off early, but like I said, if you went the whole 5 years, that $30,000 building is going to be about $80,000.
Yeah, when you have like 20-something% interest, it's crazy.
It is crazy, and like I said, I know that was a lot of money, and I mean,
he knew he was going to pay it off.
Yeah, and I just wanted
to save the interest.
I wanted to put that out there, the amount that I was spending on it, so that people do understand how much you're actually paying on one of these buildings. And I'm sure, because I haven't read the comments yet on that video, and I'm sure people are saying that is just absolutely crazy. You could buy a house, or my mortgage is less than that. I get it, guys, but then again, I could have went and bought property with a house on it and paid a mortgage for the next 30 years, and I didn't want to do that. So now we'll just try to do it from the ground up as good as we can, and not get over our heads on it.
Get a couple of calls into some cement people that I know, and see what kind of deal they can give us to put down a slab if possible. We had talked about doing the pier, or
the pier and beam.
Yeah, well, the pylons down in the ground and stuff. You know, even that's expensive when you start putting in 20 piers and all the cement and rebar that's involved in that.
Well, my thing is too, if it's the foundation like this, I think I would rather just pay somebody to do the cement work, and that way I know that it's done level and correct, and then from there we can build up, and it'd be less likely that everything would be out of whack, or less.
Just be easier to construct. Like I was explaining to Jared, that putting in those piers down on the ground, you know, just the cost of the materials for that, and the floor joists and screws or nails or whatever, everything that's involved in putting in a floor, plus your tongue and groove 3/4 inch plywood is very expensive. And it's going to be different than the cost to put in a slab, but in a long run,
I feel
way
like,
better off.
Yeah, I feel like the slab would be better, and like I said, it's going to cost a chunk up front, but like I said, I can use this money that I have to pay that off. That way I'm not getting in more debt. That way I can just say, all right, so now we're at this point where we had the cement poured, all that was paid straight off, and not have to worry about swiping my credit card and stuff.
Right.
So,
and like I said, the as far as putting on a porch,
besides that we're going to add on,
we may just go ahead and pour the little 4-inch slab for that, or later he could do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just right now he can get the slab done for his house for sure. And
I mean, if it's not too much more, I'll just go ahead and have him just do that. That way I already have both the front and back porch area lined up. And like I said, before we get to that point, like I said, we bought some little notebooks that we're going to draw in and do some layouts, and I'm sure I'll do a video on that and get y'all's opinion on what y'all think. Sometimes, like I said, y'all have good ideas. There was a few times that they pointed out on the last build things that we could switch up, and I agreed with them. So that's what we'll be getting into, and I think that's probably what my next video is going to be about, as far as just planning the a layout for the size of building, and go from there. So
yeah.
Anyways, this phone did good today, didn't overheat, and we are back in Rivera, so that kind of worked out. So any last words for the people?
No, just hang in there and keep watching for Jared, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Hey, the fun's just about to begin, and people like the building portion. I mean, that's... We're going to start doing that, and not only that, there's other projects around the yard, too, that we're going to be doing as well. So, anyways, stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye, guys.